Hello, you guys can hear me?
Sí, bueno, buenas noches, bienvenidos. Vamos a esperar unos minutos a que se conecten las demás personas. Yo voy a pasar a Telegram a avisar que ya estamos conectándonos. Anthony, welcome. I make you host because you're going to make the Zoom, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
You guys can see my screen with the slide?
Yes.
So you can see on the slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
So you guys feel sleepy now? Now it's 10 p.m., right?
11 p.m. here in Montevideo, Uruguay.
Wow, that's so late. I'm so sorry.
No problem, man.
I just wake up around 1 hour ago.
That's great. It's amazing that I keep thinking how was the world a few years ago, and it's amazing how the technology changed everywhere, everything. A few years ago, thinking about talking with guys in every place in the world would be destructive, and now it's just one more day, one more meeting.
Okay, give me a while. I go grab some drink before I start. So everyone is ready?
Hello, I'm Carlos Martinez, I'm Venezuela ambassador. We're waiting for 3 guys of my country to join us and start the training.
Sure.
Thank you.
te fue que son rosas.
Hi everyone, I think we're ready. Anthony, you can start.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you for your time to attend this NEM 101 training. So before I start, I will do very short introduce for myself. So you guys can call me Anthony. I'm from NEM Malaysia. So my background is a developer. I using JavaScript, JavaScript, and do all my programming. So may I know how many you guys here are developer? Is it everyone is a developer here? Or non-technical person? Hello?
Yeah, I think everyone is a developer, I think.
Okay, okay. That works good. So, okay. So, I think everyone know him, right? So you guys see my slide, right? Can you guys see my slide now? So this is Long Wong, is our president for NEM.io. So he come out this idea to build a new blockchain, which is NEM. The NEM blockchain is mainly focused on enterprise because a lot of the blockchain other than NEM actually is not, I would say like not really enterprise friendly. So what Long Wong he trying to do is he create one new blockchain and is very friendly for the developer and also very friendly for the enterprise. So if any enterprise they want to start using blockchains, actually they are big name, they can direct jumpstart and do development rather than they have to go outside find like Ethereum guys to build Ethereum platform. So it's very costly and it's very time consuming. Okay, so NEM is not only for cryptocurrency. Actually, NEM can do more than a cryptocurrency. it can build a lot of business. So NEM foundations. So our NEM foundation is a bit different with other blockchains because our foundation is, we are the real support team behind the NEM. It's something like if you guys need any training from NEM, actually they just can direct go through me or try to text me asking the questions. I will do the support all the time. And even we have a team in Malaysia, they will do the same thing as well. So it's done like the example for other blockchains. They have to, if they have the questions, they have to go to the forum, post the question and waiting for other people to reply. So it may take 2 days or 1 week, people will reply your forums. But in NEM it's different. Just we just can direct go through our the Telegram, asking the questions. Everyone will be happy to help in the NEM help desk. So in our NEM we have a venture fund and one more is called community fund. So everyone, if you guys have a very good idea and you thinking the idea is very good for the can use with the NEM blockchains, so everyone can propose the idea in our community funds. So once the community approve the idea, you guys can get a fund and start to do the development. So it's very good for a startup who have a good idea and have a passion on blockchains. So this is some way you guys can be started. So now I will explain more this NEM overview. So as the NEM started is on January 2014, when they start do the NEM project, and we are launching at March 2015. So all our core blockchains coding is done by our professionals, and we are 100% new code from scratch, which means no fork from other blockchain. We are writing the whole new blockchain ourselves, everything from scratch. So NEM blockchain have a lot of powerful features like multi-sig for the account security. You can easily create asset to control all your the asset just using the NEM blockchain. And we have the namespace for a different company to represent their asset. At the same time, we have the message features, which means every time you send transactions to another one, you can use the message feature to make as a record or label. So the third one is our NEM node. So our NEM nodes, we have two types. One is public and private. So the public is everyone can use it, and the private is a Mijin. In the Mijin is one of our tech partner. It's called Tech Bureau in Japan. So they are running the private chain, and what we are currently using on the network is a public chain, which means everyone can set up their own nodes to run the program. So everything is using API, just API to communicate the NEM blockchain. And when you're running you can run it, and it's fast and open source. Everything lists on the GitHub. So everyone can go to the GitHub, have a look for the source, how NEM project will look like. So am I going too fast? Is everything okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yes. Okay. So here is the enterprise use case for the blockchain technology. So we have financials, business management, and secure record and decentralized organizations. So for financial part, you guys can easily create a mobile payments. How you create your own wallet for the cryptocurrency wallet. It's called service. Everything you can use one NEM. For the business management, people can create a KYC and a loyalty reward loyalty program. So everyone just can build the loyalty program on top of the NEM. And logistics as well, people can create a supply chain to trace the product from. So we have the secure records. People can make certificates for themselves, like the school, like the school graduations, everyone have a certificates. So they can using the NEM blockchains to build the certificates and can authorize the certificate, so no one can clone the certificate and no one can fake the certificate because everything is in the blockchain. Nothing can be edited. And the last one you can use for the decentralized organization. So in our NEM, you can use it for voting as well. So like how you're voting for your idea in our NEM communities. Every community funds, they propose the idea. So the idea will be through the NEM voting system to vote for the idea. See how many people they are like to support this idea. So you can do crowdfunding as well and an ICO. So I believe everyone heard about ICO.
Te pregunto porque veía mucha...
So basically, ICO is able everyone to raise the fund for their project. So everything, all the thing you can done in NEM. So based on this, all the scenario, we can see that actually NEM is not only for cryptocurrency. Who are using the NEM blockchain to build on top of their service. So we can see top right called Pundi. Actually, Pundi is a payment system, point of sales. They can allow people to accept the new accept the cryptocurrency as a payment. So in the bottom there is called Lawyer Coin. This Lawyer Coin, they are raising their ICO using NEM and just end, I think, just 2 months ago. And the company is from Philippines. So they are building the loyalty reward program. So it's like nowadays, if you go Starbucks buying a coffee, you will get your Starbucks point, your Starbucks credit. So if you go to the petrol station to pump your petrol or pump your gas, so you will get the petrol point or gas point for the loyalty program. So what Lawyer Coin doing is he mix everything together. So something like now you can go pump petrol in the stations, so you get the loyalty coin. So you can take this loyalty coin, go to the Starbucks, exchange free coffee. So this is a whole concept how he wants to do using the NEM blockchain. So NEM actually is a short form from the word we call new economy movement, which means using NEM blockchains we try to form new economy. So something like you can see the Pundi X, people can using cryptocurrency to purchase the food, purchase the drink. At the same time, every time you purchase the food or you purchase the drink using your cryptocurrency, you can earn the loyalty coin, which means this is another enterprise loyalty program. So we have like point of sale system and a loyalty program. So both of them can merge together, form the new economy. So other than this, on the photo enterprise use case, actually still have a lot of use case. But the slide, just like that, I cannot fit everything inside. So it's very interesting stuff for NEM because it can build everything on top of NEM. People are very creative. They can build whatever they want, just using NEM. So this is how NEM blockchain work. This is all the thing will be inside the NEM blockchain. First, we call it a ledger, which means it will record every data inside the blockchain. And the data is immutable, right? You guys cannot simply change the data because it's the blockchain, you're not able to change it. So the second one is our nodes, is peer-to-peer network and maintained by public, which means peer-to-peer, which means no one control the nodes. So peer-to-peer means that if today in Brazil, everyone shut down the nodes, the NEM blockchain will be stopped working? The answer is no, because our NEM node is around the world. So if one day Brazil power down, no one can access the internet, but we still have other nodes in Singapore or in Colombo or Colombia, because it's a peer-to-peer, so we don't need to worry about data will be lost. We don't need to worry about power failure. So in this point, for the enterprise, they're saving a lot of money to back up their data, to mirroring their data to do the backup, okay? So the third one's member of NEM will verify every transactions. So our NEM, we have our own consensus. It's called POI, which means this algorithm, it can to define every transaction, is it valid or not valid in the network. So some hacker, maybe they are trying to cheat on the system. So the transaction is not valid. So in the POI algorithm, it will be reject this transaction, because this transaction is by hacker or by some unauthorized people to want to hack the system. So the fourth point is create a unique permanent audit. So as I say, blockchains is a ledger to record all the data and immutable. So it is a very good thing for the permanence audits, which means every transactions, once the transaction is made in the blockchain, no one can change the content anymore. So the data will be inside forever, and it's good for auditing because there is not lying at all. No people can cheat on the system. So just now is to explain about how NEM blockchains, how the entity inside NEM blockchain. So now here will be explained how transaction work. Just now I mentioned about transaction and record, this kind of thing, how the team work. So in this diagram, you can see Mark want to send them to carry. So Mark is on the top and carry is at the bottom. So how they transfer this them to carry? So they are using a wallet. In NEM we got called nano wallets. So you use these nano wallets to send them to the network, and after in the network they will broadcast to all the nodes, because the network is peer-to-peer network, which means everyone can talk to each other. They are sharing the data to each other. So after the broadcast, to verify is it the data is a correct data. So once the POI already approve the data is valid, so all the record will be stored in a ledger. So once the record stored in the ledger, which means the carry already received the ZAM. So you can see like this whole process just happened within 60 seconds. It's very fast. It's like in Malaysia, I sending one credit to someone in Brazil. It just take me within 60 seconds. I can transfer my credit from Malaysia to Brazil. I can transfer my credit around the world without bothering about the fees, how expensive or which bank I want looking for. Using NEM blockchains, you just can send anyone around the world within 60 seconds. People will receive the credit. This is very fast and very powerful. So we can skip a lot of middlemen, you know, the bank, like Western Union, this kind of company. Everyone can skip it because of blockchain. So here will be like more detail about what the blockchain can solve and how the system can use them. So first one is trust. As I mentioned, the record inside the blockchain is immutable. So you can trust the record because no one can edit the record. Secondly, is about the risk, because the data is transparency and no one can try to hack it because everyone can see everyone record, because it's a peer-to-peer network. They share the same record and same data. And third one is reduce the cost. So as I mentioned, there is no middleman fees. So at the same time, your data will be safe in the nodes because the nodes is run around the world. So you don't need to do backup, or you save the money to do backup, or you save the money to do all the security thing to protect your data. The third one is the save time for the transactions. As I mentioned, if I send any credit from around the world, it just take me within 60 seconds. The transaction will be done. It's within 16 seconds. So you don't need to send to the bank, and bank have to approve your data. After approve, they only do connection. It may cost you 3 days or 1 week. By using NEM blockchains, it just happened in 60 seconds. So increase security, because in the blockchain world, every data is encrypted. So it's very hard for the hacker want to take all your information, because in the NEM blockchain is peer-to-peer network. You very hard to hack the system. I can say like impossible. It's nearly impossible because it's peer-to-peer network. If you want to hack around the network, you need hack through 51% of the node around the world. So I can say this is nearly impossible, and because the node is run by public and we don't know who own it, so everyone can run the nodes and the security is powerful. No one can hack it. So this is an advantage if people are using the NEM, because everything the code is 100% from the new code, because we not fork from other blockchain, we ruin ourselves. Since we have more control to writing the new code, this is a reason the Long Wong, he say he want to focus on enterprise. So actually all the features by NEM is built for the enterprise, for enterprise using. So you can see everything is new code and fast and secure and robust, because enterprise this is what enterprise wanted to be used. And we have an agent trust plus. This is one of the algorithm to protect our nodes, is trusted nodes. And POI is our algorithm, and a two-tier architecture. So two-tier architecture is more on like programmer the terms, because first tier is our core layer, is a blockchain layer. The second layer is API. So everyone just go through the API, can call the function, rather than direct go through the core function, core blockchain. So we have the spam protection, which means it will protect people keep spamming the network, and delegated harvesting, which means everyone can running the harvest remotely. You don't need to set up your own nodes. You can remote harvest to other people's nodes around the world. and a supernode program. The supernode is to make sure all the network is secure, and it's something like if you want to join this supernode program, you need ready 3 million of them on the nodes. So these 3 million of them on the nodes will be stay in the network to this program will be protect all the nodes around the world. So every day you will get the reward is around 300 them per day. So harvesting mainly is, we call it mining. Okay, in Bitcoin we call mining, Ethereum we call mining, but in NEM we call harvesting because we are not doing mining. So this is the difference between the Ethereum and the NEM. So because why I'm come out this diagram is very important, because everyone know about Ethereum, but no really much people understand about NEM. So in Ethereum we have something called smart contract, and in NEM we call it smart asset. So in Ethereum they call smart contract on chain, which means you execute all your programming and your logic in the blockchain. But our smart assets in NEM, we call it a smart contract off chain. So why I mean off chain, it means like you put your programming outside the blockchain. So what is the benefit for the off-chain and on-chain? So like Ethereum, they put every programming, every logic on-chain, which means they put everything on the blockchain. So the disadvantage is no one can changing the code if something go wrong. Like the business requirement change, user requirement change, you cannot make any change in the Ethereum, because you write all the coding on the blockchain. As I mentioned, blockchain data is immutable. So all your business logic on chain cannot be added. The data, the program will be fixed forever in the blockchain. But NEM is different. We are off chain, which means you can write your programming, whatever you want, and you put on the blockchain and run it. If you feel something wrong for your program, or you feel you got the new change for your program or business logic, you just can take off and change your programming, and you can put it back on the NEM. So the second point is about how easy to learn and build on a blockchain. So in Ethereum, they have their own programming language. It's called Solidity. So this is a new programming language for the Ethereum. If you want to build Ethereum, you must learn this new programming language. So for NEM, we are using API. So if you want to find someone have the skill with Solidity, and it's very costly, I can say it's very costly and super costly. And in the market, it's very rare. It's not everyone knows Solidity. It's because this language is only can build on Ethereum. So for NEM, we're using API. So the benefit of API is everyone can call the API, no matter what language you are using, or no matter what platform you are running, because API is cross-platform and multi-language support. So Ethereum, they're using a POW, and our so what NEM have and the Ethereum don't have is about we have smart asset. So smart asset is our core namespace in the Mozart. And we have one feature is called multi-sig on chain. So this is the main feature for NEM. And in NEM, actually we got a lot of SDK are ready for enterprise use or any developer use. There we have the Java SDK, JavaScript SDK, TypeScript SDK, PHP SDK, Ruby SDK, C# SDK. So this all the language is mainly for enterprise using, because some enterprise they are using C# a lot, and some enterprise are using Java. So in NEM, we are focused on the all enterprise language is ready. For a lot of the new startup, they want to build the information on the, they want to build the application on the blockchain. They always go for JavaScript and TypeScript or PHP. So this is our advantage for the NEM, which means you start with NEM blockchain, you don't need to learn any new language. Any developer can direct jump in and start do the coding. So this is the consensus algorithm, POW and POS, proof of work on proof of stake. So this is the algorithm is using in the Bitcoin is proof of work, and proof of stake POS. Ethereum mentioned that they want to use it, but until now I think they just start to doing it. So what is this two algorithm different with our POI? So POW is the more work you do, you can get the reward. The more hardworking are you, you will get a reward. Which means it's like in Bitcoin, the more mining power you have the higher chance to get the reward. That's why a lot of mining farm coming, they are selling this kind of super mining machine in China. So this thing, it will cost a lot of electricity and the hardware is very expensive. So in the POS, the algorithm is mentioned that the more money, the more cash you put inside the account, the more reward you will get. Which means the richest people will going rich because they have a lot of money. So when they put in the network, so this in the network, they will generate a lot of the reward. So based on these two algorithms, we don't think this is really benefit for the public or benefit for everyone, because both of these algorithms, they are comparing who are the richest. Because the POW, you can buy, if you are rich, you can buy a lot of power, the processing power to doing mining. So in POS, if you are the rich, you can put a lot of money in the account to generate a lot of profit, right? So this is what POI comes from. We want to solve these two issues. So the POI is called proof of importance. It's mentioned that how important you are in the network. So the importance is depend on the trust score. Every account has a score called importance score. The highest importance score you have, which means you are the important in the network. So how you can define that your account is important is depend on how much transaction you do. The more transaction you doing, the more score you will earn. So this is how overall the POI work. And once you have the highest score for the important, which means you have the highest chance to get the reward. It's not 100% you get reward, it's higher chance you will get reward. So everyone who want to participate in do harvesting, everyone have to put minimum 10,000 ZEM in your account. So this, once you have the minimum 10,000 ZEM in your account, then your importance score will be start calculated. So the more transaction you do, the more score you will earn. So the enterprise use case I already present. About the consensus algorithm, I already told you guys and how the NEM blockchain will work. So here is about 5 features for the NEM blockchain. Is the main features for the NEM. So basically, every developer or any people who understand these 5 features on NEM, they can build any applications on top of NEM, any application. Okay, so we have the message, we have address, multi-sig, mosaic, and the namespace. So address, just like your account number, you know, it's like in a bank or in your identity card, you got the number to verify this is your account. So in the name, same thing, we have an address. So you see the bottom there, we got the 3 types of address. One is start from T, second one start from N, the third one start from M. So this is the address to represent different network. So start from T is represent testnet, which means our testnet is like the sandbox environment for developer to do testing on all your blockchain application. The second one start from N. N is what we are using now in a public network. Everyone can sending them through this address. And the M is a Mijin, is a private blockchain. So we can, based on this first character, we can define that this address is come from which network. For us, it's very easy to recognize. So this is the address, and address is the unique ID, which means this is impossible have a duplicate address. The address is unique. So message. So I'm saying that our message system is Swift compatible. So Swift messaging compatible is mean like around the world in the bank system, every time you do transaction and you can add on the extra label or the message, actually they are from the Swift messaging. So mainly example, like if any bank they want to start using a blockchain with NEM, actually our message system can direct integrate with their legacy system. So in the sense that our message can be used in the bank as well. So in our message, you're able to do encrypt or decrypt the message, and you can share all the message with encryption. So no one can reach your message until you get the private key to open the message. Excuse me. So the third features is multi-sig. So multi-sig features is you allow multiple people to handle the wallet. So give you guys one example about the checkbook in the companies or in the bank. You know, in the company they have the checkbooks, and these checkbooks you need 2 signatures only can cash out the money. So maybe the signature is from CEO and another signature is from CFO. So in the NEM, we apply the same thing, which means this address, if you can type to multiple people to manage the wallet. So if one of the wallet private key is compromised or someone hacked the address, they still cannot cash out the money, because if they want to do the transactions, they need all party agree, only the transaction will be proceed. So you can see the feature is called M of N. So which means like, example, you got 10 people manage the wallet and 5 people agree the transaction can be done. So which means it's 5 of 10. And it can up to 32 co-signer. So what is the real case you use in the multi-sig? So example, like you request the company buy you a new computer. So the new computer you need approved by your CEO and your accountant. So you can request to your accountant, say, hey, I want to buy the new computer for my work. So the accountant said, okay, I agree with that. So now the thing is, they need to wait and the CEO to agree. So because the transaction is 2 people will agree the transactions. So once the CEO he agree the transaction, so you can get a new computer because they approve your request. So example, the CEO is not approve your request, then the thing won't be happen because only accountant approve your transactions. Then this is how the multi-sig using in the real world. You can do as a permission as well. How many people agree the thing, then the transaction, the permission can go yes or go no. So it's very interesting thing. Something like you can link to the multi-party. Something like if you want to buy a property, you can link with the bank and link to the property seller. So if the bank approve your loan and the property is available, so both of them approve, then you can buy the property. So this is how people will design their architecture in the system to do permissions and how to make safe for your fund. So another one is namespace. So namespace is to manage, like create your namespace. You can base on your company names. You can base on anything you want. So in our namespace is something just like our domain name, www.abc.com. So the ABC is your domain name. So in a namespace, you done the same thing. You can buy a namespace with ABC, or you can buy the namespace with any of your company name. So in the namespace, we have the 3 level, support the 3 level, which means you can up to sub namespace and sub namespace. So in this example, you can see we have NEM. So NEM is our namespace, and we have a Malaysia. We have NEM Malaysia, NEM Latin, NEM Brazil. So we have different countries. We can name like NEM.Malaysia or NEM.Philippines or NEM.Singapore. So in this Malaysia, we have different branches. So we can define again, it belong to NEM Kuala Lumpur or NEM, the different state. So in a company, they can name as like ABC Company.IT Department or ABC Company.Account Department. So this namespace, you can play around with the name. It depends how you design architecture. So now this is an important thing. We call it Mosaic. Mosaic is our smart asset in our NEM. So the mosaic will be attached by the namespace and it will become a unique. So mosaic, everyone can create mosaic. You can create mosaic as a token. You can create mosaic as the token access or permission access. You can create anything with a mosaic, or times token, or any token or anything you can think of. You can create like mosaic is a tire, and tire have 4. So every car have 4 tire. It's something like that. So in our NEM, NEM is the namespace, and mosaic we call it XAM. So in the second example, you can see like NEM.Malaysia XAM. So you can using a namespace to make your mosaic unique. It's something like if you create one NEM Malaysia, then XAM. So which means this XAM can only use in NEM Malaysia. So I cannot go to Singapore use, I cannot go to other country because I define it as NEM.Malaysia, which means this only can using in Malaysia. So everyone can create a mosaic because you have the unique namespace. So you can create one namespace is something like a company ABC. They're selling the football ticket. So they can put like football ticket. So ABC company, then football ticket. And maybe they want to sell another ticket in other country because of the currency. They can call it ABC Company Malaysia and the access ticket. So this ticket it can use in Malaysia. So it depend on a different namespace. So you can using the namespace to make your mosaic identity, make your mosaic unique. So this is the overall how the mosaic and the namespace were used together. So in the left side, you can see like business, my mosaic 1, business, my mosaic 2, my business, my address name, my business, my address name 2. So you can using one mosaic to create multiple. You can using one namespace to create multiple mosaic. So just now I got mentioned about multi-sig. Multiple people can manage the wallet, so you also can create the same thing. Multiple people to manage the address and the namespace with the different user. So this is the overall, the 5 features of NEM. So this is our NEM Blockchain Center in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, our capital of Malaysia. We are going opening soon. It should be a few more days. Will be launched the office. So if you guys, anyone will visit in Malaysia, please let me know. I can bring you guys have a tour in our NEM Blockchain Center. So our NEM Blockchain Center is meant for blockchain startup, co-working space, and entrepreneur. People want to do a startup for everything with the blockchain. And so inside the NEM Blockchain Center, we were doing a lot of sharing for NEM 101 and NEM technical training. So if you guys visit Malaysia, let me know. I will bring you guys have a tour in the NEM Blockchain Center. So okay, my presentation for NEM 1 is done. So any questions?
That's great, Anthony.
So any questions for these 5 features? Okay, you guys can tap over in the chat list. I'm reading. So yes, any questions you guys feel confused about? Okay, so apostille is another application that are built on top of the NEM. They are built on top of the NEM. So yes, it's something like, so I can discuss with you this later. Apostille, because it's not direct in the NEM features, because apostille is built something top of the NEM. So it's a third-party application. So I can say like apostille is thick. Just now I got mentioned about these 5 features: address, message, multi-sig, mosaic, and namespace. So they take these 5 features to build some application, and they can be a apostille. Yes, voting also is built top of the NEM. For Catapult, they have, I think, for now, based on what I'm saying, like they will try to make it compatible, and maybe will be a little bit different, but it should be easy to be handled. Because Impossible, the Catapult is new version of NEM, right? If people are built on the NEM now, then after Catapult come out, actually they had got few simple steps to let people migrate from now to the new Catapult. But I could say like, if no worry, if people want to build anything on NEM, just go for it first, because we also don't know what is the Catapult release, the fully release. For now, only for developer preview. So yeah. Okay, so actually NEM is open source after the Catapult will be released. But for now, we are open source for all the code. Only the NIS is not open source. I will send you the link. because we're waiting for the catapult. Once the catapult fully released, the whole NEM will be 100% open source. For now, what I'm thinking at NEM is only 80% for all the codes, rather only the NIS, the node server, is not included. Wait a while, I will make it ready. Okay. Wait, let's get everyone. Okay, this is our official NEM project. What you mean for the language? What you mean for the language? Okay, if for programmer, you don't need to worry. Mosaic, just like English, you can put anything you want because everything you will go through API. After this session, I will go to one more, the NEM Technical 101 is explained about API. So yes, you don't need to worry about the language. API, everything just API. Yes, it depends on you. Because in domain is we call it internet, right? www.abc.com. So in the NEM itself, the namespace is under for NEM. It's something like if you buy the name, if you buy the domain ABC, it doesn't mean it's represent in NEM, because in NEM have the NEM, you know, the NEM inside itself that we call it namespace. So support the new coin. Yes, you can create it because normally namespace is to represent a company. You know, like a lot of websites, they are trying to create, example, it's called bitcoins.com. So some people, they will try to, you know, phishing attack. They will create like Bitcoin, you know, add on one I or add on extra O to make a phishing attack. So a lot of people, you know, like something like example, this is the official website, right? So a lot of people, they try to create something like that to do phishing attack. So I can say like the namespace is good for if you have an organization name or your startup or your company name, you have to get your namespace for your company name to avoid the scam. Yes, correct. Okay, a namespace or mosaic have to cost in them. Yes, if you rent the namespace, it will cost 100 them. So you rent a namespace, it will cost you 100 them per year. So every year have to renew. So when you define a mosaic, it will cost 10 them. When you define, so I can say that it's one-time cost. Once you pay the 10 them, then you can use it forever. So the more, yes, 100 them per year, correct. The cost. Okay, so the cost is okay. What it mean .io? Okay, actually .io people is called Indian Ocean. I don't know why, but it look cool. Indian Ocean. I don't know why. Yes, a lot of coin that calling .io. So can the cost go down later? Okay, so the 100 them, yes, the cost will be go down. Is based on the them price on the coin market. You know, like what is the price now? So like long time ago, our Zen is worth for around 0.001 Zen USD. So that time you rent a namespace, maybe it costs you 10,000 or 100,000 Zen. So as now our one Zen is equal around 25 USD. So it will make it at 100 Zen. So it depends on the community. So and the council member, if if the price is going really high, so the Zen will be getting lower. Okay, makes sense. In fact, I always for input output. Yes, correct. No. 100 Zen. Now 1 Zen equals 0.25 USD. So 100 Zen would be 25 USD. So I can say like NEM is most cheap in the blockchain network. You know, I can believe that NEM is more cheap in the world compared to other blockchains. Yes, correct. So when the Zen is 1 USD, it will become 100 Zen. Yes, correct. But it's depend on the council members, like when they want to reduce the Zen, because I also not sure. But no worry, now Zen is 0.25, so you have to buy it now. Okay. I mean, yes, you should buy first. You know, now the price is low, because if you compare to Ethereum, we still the cheapest. You know, one Ethereum around how many gas when you want to send all the transactions? Because why Zen will be cheap is because they want to focus enterprise ready, which means enterprise will use it. Because what I'm facing a lot of enterprise, they have the issue when they are building the Ethereum ERC20 token. They have a lot of problem is because when the developer build it, before they are deployed to the blockchain, then the Ethereum price is 1,000 USD at the time. And you say like, before we build this program, I saw the price around 200 USD. Then after 2 months, it go to 1,000 USD. Then you ask me how to use this Ethereum blockchain. So in the end, they still jump back to the NEM. You say, okay, first, it's very easy and price is cheap. No need to hire developer with Solidity knowledge. So any developer can build it because it's API. So yes, this is a lot of reason people from NEM, from Ethereum switch to the NEM. Okay, I will open one more slide for my tab. Because before I using NEM, I was to choose for Ethereum. After that, I go to Ethereum. Then I found I have to learn new language again. I feel like so headache. I said, okay, why I don't just go for NEM, everything API, easy. And everything API it doesn't matter what language you are using, you know, you just can use anything. Yes. So if no more questions, I will proceed for the API. So this training is more on technical side. It's more on coding, all about everything is about API, JSON object, get method, post method. That's all. I will show some. I will show the coding up in the next presentation. So yes. So may I know that what kind of language you guys are using for your coding? Most of you guys, like me, I am more on JavaScript. I'm more on JavaScript and TypeScript. So how about you guys? Okay, cool. Python, yes. Node.js, good. Okay. If people going to JavaScript and Node.js, actually I also develop on Node.js and JavaScript. And NEM have SDK for NEM SDK. It's powerful. You don't need to write so many codes. You just call one SDK and all will be done. For the Python, yes, Python. We have the we have the wrapper for the SDK. So I don't think I'm not sure is it well maintained or not. But because I am not Python developer, so you can have a look later. I can share you the link. And JavaScript is perfect because I'm using it and it's awesome. So I think I will start for the. I think now it's quite late in your area, right? Now it should be 12 o'clock. Okay, I will start for another slide. You guys can see my slide or not now? Okay. Network. So NIS is something like our called network infrastructure server. Nodes actually in peer-to-peer we call nodes. In other words, you can call it a server. It's like Microsoft server, AWS server, right? So in our peer-to-peer we call it nodes because everyone they have the same level and same authority to all the nodes in the level. They are peer-to-peer. So then what is the most recommended could be Java. I can say like actually there is nothing is called recommended could be Java because everything is going to API. No matter you're using Java or you're using C# or what, they're still calling through API layer. Yes, it's still calling through API layer. So you guys can view on my slide. I already shared my screen. I'm not sure you guys can view on my slide. Okay, good. So yeah, I will continue to the slide. So there is my Telegram account in the bottom. So you guys feel free to add me if you have any technical questions, any JavaScript or SDK issue, you can let me know. Okay. So first, the content is very easy. Everything is API. And I will have to show you like how you generate a new account using the get method and how you announce the transactions, how you convert the normal account to multi-sig account, how you send the transactions, and what is the fees when you're sending one transactions, and how do you create a namespace, how you create a mosaic, and what is the common API people were using. The next one is the SDK, and the last one is the Catapult, but it's the preview version. I mean, it's the introductions. So as I mentioned, API, everything is just API. You need the endpoint. This excuse. So in our API, this is our endpoint. It's called mainnet nodes and testnet nodes. So mainnet nodes is what we call live server. I mean the thing is running in live now. It's our public network. And another one is called testnet. So testnet is for our developer to build the application using the testnet. So it's something like sandbox, something like the sandbox you do testing. So this is an endpoint, alice.nem.ninja 7890. So this thing is this is the endpoint. It's one of the endpoint. Actually, we still have a lot of endpoint, but I didn't list now. This is one of the endpoint you can respond. And we are using the port number 7890. So for the mainnet and testnet, we are using all the same port. Okay, you have to remember this is our port number. Some some people, they are not allowed to connect the API is because their company, they maybe have the firewall to block all the port number. So this is, they cannot accept. So if one day you have this kind of issue, like I cannot connect my API, I cannot get my API, it probably will be your port number wrong, or somewhere firewall, they are blocked the port number. The next one is our network number is 104 and negative 104. So the network number is to represent which network you are sending the transaction. So you're sending the transactions to testnet or to the mainnet. Okay. So the wrappers is like that's not I mentioned, JavaScript, TypeScript, PHP, Ruby. So for a Python, later I can share you the link for the Python. So now it's important things like how you generate the account for the user. So just now you have the endpoint. So this is the endpoint, you add on the thing and you make the one get method, then you will get the returns. Private key, address, and public key. So this is how easy you generate the account just using the API. So here I have a mention about work on local NIS. So what is mean the local NIS? So the local NIS is mean you run the nodes on your PC. You have to run your nodes on your PC. You only can call this endpoint. So the reason is because this request and the response, the response is content about private key. So actually we know that private key in every cryptocurrency, in every cryptography, private key is the main thing, can control all your wallet, the private key. So this thing is only work for local NIS, only work on local NIS. The reason is because of the private key is inside this response. If you go to the online, if this request you allow go through online, which means someone can catch your package, so they are able to still able to steal or compromise your the private key. So here is a no safe. If anything, if your private key go through HTTP, you very easy to get hacked, or people can listen on your transactions. They're able to read on the JSON body. So when they read the JSON body, they can get a private key, which means this is really, really dangerous. So what we are doing is we prevent the public node to generate the account for you. So if you want to generate account for your application, you have to run your local NIS. Okay. And the same thing I can say, like when you generate an account, it's not required internet. You can do it offline way. So the second thing is post method is announce. Announce is how you send the data to the blockchain. This is a get, right? Get is like how you pull the data from the blockchain. Post is how you send the data to the blockchain. So we have two methods. It's called prepare announce and announce. So prepare announce is like if every time you want to do one transactions, you need a private key inside, and the transaction will be sent to the public node and sign the transaction. And this is I won't recommend. And if you want to do it, prepare announce, you have to do it in the local NIS. Because, as I mentioned, it requires your private key to sign the transaction. So this is not recommended. If you are running your local nodes, you can using it, but I'm not recommended. So we were using ED25519 library to sign the transaction before you announce to the network to sign the transactions. So in a blockchain, every time you announce one object to the public nodes or to the nodes to the NEM blockchain node server, you need to sign the transaction before you announce. So this transaction, this signature is to make sure that this transaction is valid is from the valid private key to send. So at the bottom is called transaction announce. So this is what I'm suggested. If even you are running the local nodes, you are better using transaction/announce to post the method. Okay. So when you post this method, which means you need sign the transaction within your application layer. So your private key won't go through HTTP. Everything done before you post the method. Okay. So if you are using a wrapper or SDK with the NEM SDK, you don't need to worry about it because inside already have the application to help you sign the signature. It will help you make the signature with the private key. So everything you just need to do is give your private key and your transactions, and through the SDK, he will come out one signature. So you don't need to use any library. If you want to using this other library, maybe you are come out with your own standard SDK, or you want to come out your own, your own programming language. So if you're using SDK, you don't need to take care about the signature. If you come out your own SDK, then you have to remember about the signature is signed by ED25519 library. So this is the first object, JSON object, how you convert the account to multi-signature. So you can see the table here. We got time span, signature, fees, type, deadline, version, signer, modification, and a mini co-signatory and a reactive chain. So you can see like time span, signature. Signature is something like the time I mentioned to you. Before you announce to the network, you have to do signature before you announce. So the signature will be here. And the fees, how much the cost, and the type, what type of the transaction you are doing. Because in NEM, everything is API. Everything you want to do the transactions, you just have to mention that which type you are doing. Example, like 256 is for transaction, and what is the number is for different type of thing. So here is a sample of JSON object. So once you define this all object, you just paste everything inside your Postman or inside your any API post. So post with the transactions and now. Then you will put this whole object inside in the blockchain. And I can tell you, you are successful, create new transaction with API. Then you are successful, create the API, using this API to interact with the NEM blockchain. Then this data, everything will be inside the NEM blockchain. So you can see on the sample there, we have the time span signature. So this is after you sign the transaction, you will get this outcome. So you can see about the type. So the type is mentioned 4097. So 4097, it means that this transaction is on account to multi-sig. So when the network, they will receive this JSON object, so they will read on the type. Okay, this object is doing what? So based on this case, this object is doing multi-signature. So the version will be the network version if you're sending to a testnet or mainnet. So you can see the modifications. So if you want to add on different account to your multi-sign, right? So you need add on their public key. Co-signatory account is the public key. And the modified type is 1. So 1 is add the new cosigner, and 2 is delete the cosigner. And the last part is a minimum co-signatory. So as I mentioned just now, 5 of 10 or 2 of 3. So in this case, you can see that reactive change is 2, which means 2 people sign the transaction can be approved. In this case, it's 2 of 3 because we got 3 account here and 2 people sign it. So this is the whole JSON object, how you create one object account to multi-sig. So these are transactions. How you send them, or you send mosaic, or you send your message, all is using this transactions type. So you can define amount, who will receive the thing, and a message and a mosaic. So in the message just now I mentioned is the shift compatible, which means it's something like you can do not only for the message. Okay, so this is a message object. So you can see that inside in the message it called payload. So in the payload it's just a string. In a maximum is 1024 character, which means you can do it not only pass a string like a JSON object or any parameter you want. It's a payload, you can pass anything you want. It's something like if you want to pass some amount is 10 and user ID is 5. So you can define everything in the payload. And the type is you can encrypt the message or decrypt the message. So if you encrypt the message, which means no one can read the message until the people who have the private key to open the message. Okay. So this is how the object will look like. Payload, you can put everything you want. You can encrypt your data and use the encryptions, just pay in a payload, or you can do anything you want. It depends on you guys, how you play with it. So the mosaic, just now I mentioned the mosaic is, every mosaic, you need a namespace because namespace is tagged with the mosaic. So you can see like the namespace, I mentioned it's called Happy Farm. The mosaic name, I call it potato, and I want to send 10 potato. So I can attach multiple mosaic in the array form. So in this case, I send tomato and I say potato. So and I put the quantity there. So this is whole thing you can look on the transaction object. Amount, how much you want to send, and the fees. So the amount you can see like I have a lot of decimal at the back. That is because it's a decimal. It's called micro XAMPP. In XAMPP we have 6 decimal place, which is called divisibility. So that's why you can see a lot of I have the 6 0 behind, which means I sending 123 XAMPP. So in the JSON object, it will view on the micro XAMPP. Okay. So signature is the same thing. Signature, fees, and receipt. Who will receive these transactions, and the type. So in 257 means now I doing a transaction is sending the money. Okay. So the deadline. So the deadline is mean like you have to put a deadline for the transactions. So example, you put 1 hour. So if this deadline 1 hour, which means this transaction can live in 1 hour in the network. If within this 1 hour, then the transaction is processed, then all will be fine. If within 1 hour and the transaction is haven't processed, which means this transaction will be rejected because the deadline expired and before the network verify, then this transaction will be not valid, will be returned back. So this is a message. How you want to add on your payload is depend on you and what kind of type of the transaction encryptions. 1 is encrypted message, 2 is unencrypted. So the network version, you have to define which version you send, and insider who create a transaction. So this is the public key, and this is a mosaic. So as I told you, in this all the object, you will never see the private key because everything it was done. You have to do the signature before you broadcast to the network. So no have any private key included. So even a hacker, they try to snap your network package. They can get this JSON object, but they cannot get a private key. So your account is safe. So this is a namespace. So when you create a namespace, it only have 16 character to create a root namespace, and sub namespace up to 64 character, and up to 3 levels, just now I mentioned. So this is a very character. You can create a namespace. So don't try all funny character there. This is capital and lowercase, uppercase, 0 to 9, underscore, and dash. Okay. So this is some of the namespace you are not allowed to run, which means like it's already fixed. I mean, in the coding there, you're not able to do it. Like account, name, user, com, business, and this all. So it will keep add on. It depends on the council member or community. They will keep add on the thing if necessary. So and remember that the namespace you cannot do transfer. It's done like our domain name. You can transfer your domain name from my account to another people's account. You can transfer a domain name, but in a NEM you cannot transfer from one account to another account. Right? So I have to remember that you cannot do transfer for your namespace. So this is a JSON object, how you want to run the namespace. So here we have the 2 examples. On top is run the namespace, the root namespace. The bottom one is the sub namespace. So time spent, signature, all is the default stuff. You can see the pattern is almost the same. So the only different thing is that the rent fees and how much you have to pay for the rent fees and what is the name you want to pay. Okay, it's like now this is called Alice. So the name is called Alice and the parent is now. So when the parent is now, which means this is a root, this is a root namespace. So the root namespace will be called Alice. So the sub names, if you want to create a sub namespace, is also the same thing, but the difference is only the parent you have to create. You cannot be now. You have to add Alice. So Alice is a root, and voucher is my sub namespace. So this here have the 2 sample object. So once you done this object, you just use the announce method to announce to the network that you are ran the namespace. That's all. So this is a mosaic. How you want to define a mosaic, and you can create your mosaic descriptions. And before you define your mosaic, actually you have to call mosaic property. How many mosaic you want? How many supply mosaic you want to create? And one more is called levy. It's a fees involved in each transaction. When the mosaic, when you transaction is mosaic, it will be show like the text. You know, you can include any text for the mosaic if you want, but it's optional. So this is a whole object, the parameter you want to create a mosaic, and you want to define the mosaic. So in the last part, you can see that the mosaic definitions. So as I mentioned, mosaic you have to definition by namespace and levy. So this is how mosaic property you need to define. So you have to define the supply, how many mosaic you want to supply, and diversibilities, how many decimal you want to give for your mosaic, and the supply mutable and transferable. So supply mutable is mean like you're able to change your supply or not. And transferable is you're able to let people or user transfer their mosaic peer-to-peer. So if you transferable is yes, which means I can transfer my mosaic to my friend peer-to-peer. If your transferable is no, which means the only creator and the user can transfer each other. It's something like the owner can send to me, and I only can send the mosaic back to the owner. So supply is how much mosaic you want to supply. So our max supply is 9 billion. So you can change how many supply you want. The example, now you want to supply, example, I have a VIP token. I can supply the token 100 token. So this 100 token is VIP, which means people who have this token only can come in my event. So I can set this 100 token is a VIP and supplyable is false, which means I won't change the token anymore. I don't want to update my token anymore. And transferable you can set as false. So this token only the event organizer send to the user. So when after the user come our VIP party, so once he want get in the party, then he have to send back the mosaic to us, send back to the event organizer. So it depends on how you define a mosaic. As I say, mosaic can not only for cryptocurrency, it can be access token, DAO access, or document access, anything you can think of. So this is how the sample code you will look like. So on the top, on the red circle on the top there, so you have to define this divisibility, how many decimal you want to define, and initiate supply, how many you want to supply, 1,000, 2,000, 1 million, depend on you. And supply mutable, is it you able to update the supply or not? So example, I mentioned that if today I create 100 token for SS token, so tomorrow, okay, our event add on 500 user come in. So you can just add on 400 token. Since you already have 100, so now you update to 400 token add on. So transferable, you're able to transfer to each other or not. So now you already have the property for the mosaic, and now you want to define your levy. So levy is optional. As I say, levy is optional. You can leave it empty, or you don't need to put anything. So the parameter is like fee type. You want to charge the levy with percentage or absolute. So percentage something like how many percent you want to charge. The absolute is something like I want to give a fixed price. So recipient. So who will receive the levies? So it's something like you can create like this company, it's something like I'm create a mosaic. So after people transfer my mosaic, they want to pay me the fees. And the mosaic ID and fees, what is the amount? So some people were thinking like, actually what is levy used for, right? People transfer my mosaic have pay me fees. Who want to use my mosaic? So I can say like this is optional and it depends on the use case. So as I mentioned, like some people they are doing the charity event. So they will mention like everyone buy this mosaic. So the 1% of the transaction, all the fees will go for this charity. So everyone, example now I'm doing the charity event. So people who trying to buy this charity event, right? This access token, right? They were 1% will be charged. The 1% will be donated to the charity. So everyone buy this mosaic and transfer this mosaic. So all the fees will go to the account. So this account, you can see that, okay, now totally I have 1 people to attend this event. So I receive all the 1% fees. So this all the fees, all I receive, I will donate to charity. So this is on charity case. So it depends on how you guys play with it. So at the bottom, you can see who are recipient and which type you are receive and what type of mosaic you want to receive. So you want to receive them or you want to receive any token, you just think of. And fees, how much charge every time you transfer 1 mosaic. So just now all the mention is about the JSON object. So once you done the JSON object, the next thing is just announce the thing. Announce to the network, then you successful to insert the new transaction or new data in the NEM blockchain. So here is the transaction fees. Just now I mentioned about you renting the namespace, it will cost you 100 ZEM per year. And you can rent your sub namespace is 10 ZEM. And you define one mosaic is cost you 10 ZEM. So you do a transaction with the namespace and the mosaic, it will cost you 15 ZEM, 0.15 ZEM, sorry, 0.15 ZEM for the transaction for your mosaic and the namespace. So so just now I mentioned about multi-signature, different of party can approve the signature. So the price is a bit different because the multi-signature it requires multiple party to sign the transactions. So if the transaction is require three people, so example, person A, he initiate the transaction. So in this transaction, it will charge 0.15 ZEM fees. So now we still need CEO and accountant to sign a transaction. So when the accountant sign one transaction, it will add on 0.15 fees. So you can see the bottom down there, the last one, co-signature transactions. So it will charge 0.15 ZEM. So now accountant sign and you initiate. Now the last one you're waiting for CEO sign the transaction. So once the CEO sign the transactions, it will charge another 0.15 ZEM. So in this total, this one transaction total will charge 0.45 ZEM for one transaction, but every party involved. Okay, this is how the transaction fees will be charged. So if you're asking about how much fees if I from here and I send you the ZEM. So every time you send a ZEM, the minimum cost is 0.05 ZEM. 0.05. Okay, so 0.05 ZEM, and if the fees will be called 0.05, and we have the maximum cap, it will be 1.25 ZEM. If you send 10,000 ZEM or you send 20,000 ZEM, 1.25 is a max cap. So this is the common API. What is most frequent use? I always will use it. Like I will use to check on the mosaic definitions. What is the mosaic definitions and what is a block height now to do the block confirmations, and namespace on the page. Is it the namespace for the original namespace is rather than scam namespace, and mosaic definitions like what this address is it on any mosaic, so I can know that is it this address is owned by my access token. Example, I create one mosaic is access token, so I will check this user is it on my access token. If he on my access token, which means he can come in my event. So another is a mosaic owner who owns this mosaic, and incoming and outgoing transactions is something like now I send one transaction go outside. So this transaction incoming is the web socket. He will keep listening. Any transaction is coming to my address or not. So this is all the common API I will use for the applications. So with all this API, you can easy to monitor all your wallet address. Is it someone send me the money incoming and waiting for transactions or waiting for confirmations? So actually have more than that but I just show the most common I will use here. I can show you. I will send you the API document later. You guys can have a look. So this is more excited time. It's about NEM SDK. Just now I mentioned everything is about how you form a JSON object and how you use announce to do transfer, how to use announce or broadcast to the network. If you're using a JavaScript, and NEM SDK is 100% perfect for you guys to do development. So in this SDK, they are built in 4 namespace and we call it nem.com, nem.model, and nem.utils and crypto. So you can see like nem.com. Inside they have include the request function, which means the get HTTP, and the WebSocket, which means the WebSocket it can help you to listening incoming address real time. So if you're using a model, you can create the object and you can create the transaction. So just now I mentioned to you, all the thing is about JSON object, right? So how you want to build a project, every time you copy and paste whole the object. So if you're using this SDK, you don't need to worry about it because nem.model.object. So the object can help you to define the JSON type. So this nem utilities, so you can see that you can convert the thing and you can serialize transaction. It's like help you sign the transaction. So just now I mentioned you need use ED25255.119, the one library to sign your transactions. If you're using SDK, you don't need to worry about it because all the code is inside here. So you can check on it. And NEM crypto, this will help you create a key pair, private key and address. So I mentioned that if you can create your own. You can create your own address on account in offline mode. You no need to create online. Okay, you can create offline mode. You no need to create online with this NEM crypto. So all the code is inside. Can have a look. It's very interesting to read on it. So this is an example how you can request the chain height from the NEM blockchain. First thing, install the SDK. So the code just like this, it's very simple. To import the SDK, to import the NEM SDK. The second one is create the endpoint, which endpoint you are pointing to, then giving the port number. The third one, just using the nem.com.request. Just now I mentioned the dot request, so you can request the chain height. So it will be print out what is the current chain height now. So in NEM, the block it will generate average every 60 seconds. Average every 60 second one block. So it's very fast. One day it can generate 1440 block per day. So this is how you can request a chain height. So if you want to do the block confirmations, so you can taking this chain height to compare to your transaction block. And example, you want to make 10 confirmations. So every transaction go for 10 confirmations. I can call it a solid value. So this is how you can using a chain height to do the block confirmation. So another one is transaction. So it's the same thing. Import the SDK and point to the which network you are pointing. You're pointing to the testnet or the mainnet. The third one is quick to put your private key here. So as I say, if you're using SDK, the SDK will sign all the transaction for you. So with your private key. So all your JSON object won't have any private key. So you put your private key in your application layer. And the fourth one, you put your transaction type to create the object. So just now you can see all the JSON object is very long, right? I mean, everything's like so long, the JSON type, the JSON object. So if you name SDK with this method, name.model.object.create, and you create the transaction type. So what you need to do is you just pass in the address you want to send, how many them you want to send, and what is the message you want to send. So with this row, then you done whole JSON object. So the last two is okay. So you prepare so now you have the private key. Now you have the JSON object. So now you have to point to the network. Put everything, prepare everything with the network. You want to send to testnet or you want to send to the mainnet. So you can see here it requires a testnet ID. So after you have this all thing, the last one is it will sign the transaction and broadcast to the network. In this .send, transaction.send, it done everything in the backend, in the SDK. So it will take care all your signature, it will take care everything. Then once this send, which means the transaction is already broadcast to the network. So for all features, the JSON object, actually all the thing you can done in Nano Wallet. Nano Wallet is our NEM wallet, right? Everything you can done in Nano Wallet. You can using Nano Wallet to rent a namespace, to create a namespace. Nano Wallet can do all these features, but this is the API, how the Nano Wallet call this API, okay? And for what I'm thinking, the more important thing is about how you do the transactions. Because when you're doing namespace, when you run namespace, you create a project, actually you will do it one time. You can using your Nano Wallet to create it for one time. So after you've done this all thing, then the more important is that how you want to make your application to transactions, send the mosaic to the other people address, and how your application want to listening all the things. So for me, the more important is about how you announce the transaction, how you make the transaction JSON object. This is more important thing. Because in a NEM blockchain, everything is about announce the transaction through the block, announce the transaction through the network. So in our Catapult, actually, this is a Catapult. The review versions is like what they want to make is come out the new version of NEM 2.0. So everything will be write in C++, and currently the NEM is using the Java is our core base. So now they're trying to rewrite everything in C++, and their Catapult have the 3 layers. So one layer is their layer is like the blockchain server, MongoDB with API, and the Light Wallet. Actually, it's 4th layer because they still have APK, SDK. So it should be blockchain server, MongoDB API, SDK, and the Light Wallet. So the blockchain server in many process all the transactions. So we can see like every time you send the transactions to the blockchains, everything is about transactions. So the main server, he will process all the transactions process. The second will be API. So we don't need to worry about what programming language you are using, as long as you're calling an API. So the one more layer is for the SDK. So the SDK will be, you don't need to remember all the API. As long as you know how to use the SDK, then you will be fine. So the last layer is about the Light client, which means everyone can have, you're very easy to create a crypto wallet. You're very easy to create your own wallet, because every wallet is a Light client, because everything is point to the API. You don't need to download whole database, whole blockchain in your PC. It's like the Bitcoin. If you want to open a Bitcoin wallet, you need to prepare around 170 gigabyte or 160 gigabyte to store your blockchain database. But in NEM, you don't need, because everything is API. You just point to any endpoint, so you can sync all the data. So this is all the link for the GitHub. Actually, is all the how you do you can view all the sample in a GitHub. Everything is free. You guys can have a look how the code, how doing the code, how to understand the SDK. It's very powerful. So this is my present. I done my present for the Tech 101 in the API and SDK layer. I will send you guys the applications download. So okay, this is for the developer. You guys can have a look on it for developers. All the SDK bottom there. So you can see got Python. You can look on the Python. Java also have C#, TypeScript, JavaScript, Node.js, Ruby, PHP, Go language. But I think because what I'm using is JavaScript and TypeScript more, and I'm not really using Node.js, but I'm using the JavaScript SDK in Node.js. So you can ask me any question if you find out. Yes, it's super easy. I can tell it's super easy. And here is NEM iOS/download. So just now I mentioned everything, right? All the function, right? All the API function. You guys can refer in this SD in this Nano wallet. Actually, this Nano wallet just a UI. So the backend, everything is calling the API. So I can say like people will say how easy to create the crypto wallet with NEM. I can say it's super easy. How? Just go to GitHub, clone their, fork their wallet and change your own brand that you have your own wallet. This is what I'm saying. It's really easy because everything is API. So in the download at the bottom there is called NEM nodes. So the NEM nodes actually is the NIS. NEM nodes is a NIS. So how I get them for testnet? Okay, easy. You register the testnet account. You send me. I will give you. Okay, free test them. Okay, let me read anything. I will read on. Okay. Okay, so I have questions for local server or VPS. Actually, just the just the nodes. So you can download the nodes in nem.io/download. Go to the scroll to the bottom there. It's very easy. You have you just double click. I think you download the thing. No matter you are Mac or Windows, they have files like .bash or .p. The file, what's the format again? You can direct click and you just run it, and it will automatically sync with the network. So you don't need to worry. Can we make a proof of Postman or in the API? What you mean the proof with Postman or Finder in a proof of API? Actually, you just using anything. You can start to create one JSON format. Everything is ready, and you're just using the post method, using a Postman to post everything. Put the JSON object in the body, and you post and just in the network. Any those price forces to pay? Actually, all the thing is required. All the parameter just now I show when all the object is a require. So yes, everything you have, every transaction you make in a network, you have to pay. Yes, this is we call transaction fees. You no need pay to them. People just thinking like, I build with the NEM, need I pay any licensing for NEM, or need I pay any money to NEM? The answer is no. You don't need to pay anything to NEM. You just pay when you do transaction, when you send a transaction out. You just pay whatever you need. Okay, it's not. And this is the thing also, you save all the thing, like the database. If you building the application for mobile or only purely for mobile apps with the NEM, so you can using a mobile, just call the API. You don't need to do, you don't need to rent, you don't need to pay the licensing for your database, you don't need to rent a server for your database. You can using the public node. So every time people using is, you don't need to pay any license, you don't need to pay, you need to rent one hosting or what. This is, you can run with the public node. When the subscription of the year and the system automatically renew. So for now, the subscription for the namespace, it won't automatic renew, but it will be remind you before expired 1 month. It's something like 1 year we have 12 months, right? So in month 11, it will in your wallet, it will come out the notification, ask you renew your, you can renew your notes, renew your namespace. Yes. SDK is supposed to use apostille. So I don't think the SDK is support the apostille because the apostille, they have their own stuff. But I can look on it. I will let you know because I never built anything on apostille. I can let you know for these questions. Okay, let me mark down first. Because the apostille, they have I think they have their own on the list. Okay, let me send you the list. So give me a while. So can I change name of my Nano wallet into my own company? Yes, sure. You can do whatever you want. It's open source, right? Everything just in GitHub. No one can blame you. This is the best thing about NEM, because these few days people asking me, can you help me to build? Can you help me build any? Can you help me build any crypto wallet on ERC20? And then what the hell? I have no idea about ERC20 token. I was studying the ERC20 token, but when I go to the page, I see, wow, I have to learn new programming language, Solidity. Then I say, okay, sorry, I don't have the time. I have to make it fast. So I found them. Everything API is really powerful and fast. So for apostille, you can refer the code here. So because apostille is a submodules, the submodules for the apostille is something like apostille, they are built on top of NEM. It's not really direct belong to NEM. It's not really belong to NEM. It's something like they're built on top of NEM. So if you think like got any useful modules you think can apply in NEM, actually here have the thing how to build modules for Nano wallet. So if you can build anything you want and you feel it's really benefit for the community and you benefit for everyone, so you can build it and you can make a pull request for the Nano wallet. So if the thing people like it, okay, everyone using your service. The apostille is very powerful. Everyone using now. So you can build something top of the NEM and it's part of the Nano wallet. So everyone using your code will be, oh, feel good. So, okay. Any extra questions? I think you guys is very tired now. It's it's a midnight for you guys. Or you guys is still open the coding, reading a coding. As I am a developer, I not really sleep early. When I doing code, I only do it at midnight. I will start doing code at 11 p.m. until 3 or 4 a.m. sleep with a coffee. Okay, I'm from Malaysia. Now I'm in Malaysia now. So if you guys have any, it's very happy to share with you guys because it's like you guys understand about this kind of thing and it's a knowledge sharing. So if you have any questions or any use case in your mind, you can share with me and see whether the NEM can help with it or not. I would say that not every system you can, not every system you can use NEM blockchain to handle everything, right? It's something like you want using one NEM system to replace all your current system. Yes, the day I saw someone they already did the translate in the Spanish. I think in a pull request you may have a look, just waiting for their merge. I think got some people do translation for Spanish. Because it's a community project, I think the day got someone offer he want to make a Spanish language in NEM. NEM Nano Wallet. I think have the pull request there. Let me have a look. Because yeah, a lot of people asking about Spanish language. Let's see if there is a pull request there, then you guys no need to do. If they have no pull request, maybe you guys can help. But we won't pay you like it's a community project. But here you can have a look. I think they are done in 2 languages. In this pull request, they are done in 2 languages. One is a German language and a Spanish language. You check on it first, because they already mentioned they are already done. So I'm not sure this branch. Yeah, you can look on it first. Because I saw the pull request already there, just no one to merge the thing. Maybe have to ask. Because the Nano wallet is very powerful. You just now all the explanations, all the functions, all the features just inside a Nano wallet. So you can look on a Nano wallet and you can check on the code inside a Nano wallet. If you understand all the API stuff and SDK, then you are rock. You know, you don't need to care so much. All the thing. So here I have some documents. You can have a read. So this link is all about API. You can read all the API and the parameter and all the thing you feel is useful, you can read on it. And what else? So I was NEM project. So I think there's now got mention about Python. Here have a Python code as well. So for Python, here is a Python. So I can say like the code is a bit older because they're not really update the thing. But you can have a look. If you don't mind, you are a Python expert. Yes, welcome to do a pull request for the Python SDK. And you can come out the Python SDK. How can we? Yeah. Yes. Happy birthday for them. How we can link the QR code to an address based on our. Yeah, it's possible. Now QR code just you simplify everything in the object method. I mean just a string. Then you can create anything. Right? QR code just how you want to detect the thing. And you can check on the Nano wallet. Actually, they have a QR code generation as well. Maybe you can direct clone over there. You know, you can direct clone over there. Then you don't need to build your one. So I feel you guys all is expert in NEM. Yeah, before I show you one website is very interesting because I show you one project. So in this GitHub, you can check. There is so many projects under NEM now. It's not only they can build the cryptocurrency. The NEM, they can build so many use cases. It's really a lot of use case. This is all the company they are built on top of NEM, and yeah, everything you can check on here. Maybe help you to get some idea. And actually in NEM, they have a lot of, let me check. The day we make one hackathon, I don't know, I'm not sure you guys whether join or not. They have a list of idea for the hackathon. Let me search for their list. It's very interesting. Because you can, yes, hackathon, global hackathon for NEM. But it's too bad it's already end. But inside have a lot of very good idea. Inside have a lot of idea. Let me check on the list. And all of their code is open source as well. All of their code is open source as well. So you guys really can go have a look on their code, and if you feel this idea is good, maybe you can continue. Just clone. So sorry, man. I like to clone the code. I lazy to write the code, but I love to clone the code. So you can see the app submission actually have a lot of idea of project they are built top of the NEM. So you guys can look, if see any project you guys feel interested and you feel it has potential, yeah, you guys can continue. There's a lot of idea over there. Maybe the idea is suitable for your country. So you can start a new business with this idea built on top of NEM. If you are require a funding or any fund to start the project, actually you guys can request community fund. So people will start funding for the depend on how many people support it. If everyone's happy with it and support it, then yes, you guys can get the free fund to do the thing. So let me check on the community link. Because community fund is for everyone. Everyone can apply it as long as community like it. Okay, read me a while. Let me show you how to come out the fund proposal. It's too many chat room in my list. Let me filter it out. Yeah, there is a lot of project and a lot of interesting project as well. Where is the link?
Anthony, I leave the PDF file on the Telegram group for the community found.
Yeah, they will be good.
Yeah, in Spanish.
Awesome. In Spanish, they were perfect for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah. So this is a fun, the proposal. If you guys have any ideas, you want to raise a fund, this is the best thing. It's the best thing for you guys. I can say is that free. If you guys can get a fund, yeah, you can start a new business to, using that blockchain to helping everyone in the world to solve the problem. So I think it's not bad. I can done everything in 2 hours. Thank you.
yeah, Anthony, you did very well, and you are done. And then thank you very much for your explanation. We're in touch.
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy to share everything with you guys, and thank you taking your time to attend this training. Even now it's a midnight for you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, keep in touch. If any questions, you guys can direct, PM me in the Telegram group. Yeah, I'd love to help. If I cannot help, I will try to find someone that can help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches a todos. Hasta luego.
Have a good rest, everyone.
Same for you.
Yeah.